Part 65. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wangshi-san. Chapter 641. The few people followed the red dot coordinates and felt more and more weird. It was too quiet. There was not even a single monster in this peach blossom land. Yang Tian did not find it strange. Since Dowdy is here, it is reasonable that there are no monsters here. Yang Tian smiled in his heart. This peach blossom land should have been sealed by a powerful person, and Dowdy was trapped inside and could not get out. And Dowdy was greedy, and it was estimated that he had eaten all the monsters in peach blossom land. Yang Tian and others continued to move forward, and after a while, they finally found a huge monster. The monster was extremely huge, more than 10 feet tall. It was pitch black, with 4 legs, and looked like a lion or tiger, but it was fatter and stronger, and the scales all over the body had a heavy feeling like steel. There were twisted stripes on the scales all over the body, which had an ancient meaning. Its head was very large, especially the huge mouth, which seemed to explain to the world what a bloody mouth was. At this time, it was lying on its side on a piece of grass and snoring, as if it didn't know that Yang Tian and others had invaded. Its snoring sounded like thunder, which made people extremely uncomfortable, and every time it breathed, a black airflow spurted out of its big mouth, shattering the surrounding space like a mirror. This was enough to show that its body was extremely powerful, comparable to Huang Long. No, Dowdy was one of the 3 evil gods. If we don't talk about the problem of attribute restraint, the 3 evil gods might not find an opponent in the same realm. If this Dowdy was really a second-level beast, it should be much more powerful than Huang Long. Yang Tian swept his eyes, and the Eye of Truth exerted force, instantly confirming that this Dowdy was indeed a second-level beast. As for the specific attributes of this Dowdy, he couldn't see it. Oh my, what kind of monster is this? Dowdy, Huang Mao and the others were all shocked. They didn't have the Eye of Truth, and at a glance, they were all question marks. However, in addition to the health bar, the monster's name was displayed above its head. They knew the word Dowdy. This Dowdy is sleeping. What a good opportunity. It should be a dark creature. Brothers, let's focus our fire first and kill it in seconds, Huang Mao said in a low voice, fearing that he would wake up the Dowdy. Yes, Yang Tian nodded. He has the blood of the white tiger, and Huang Mao also has the divine power ring, which causes 10 times the true damage to all dark life. Moreover, Xiao Fei and Qin Yu are also 8-winged angels, and they are also very good at fighting dark life. Although this Dowdy is a second-level beast, if the 4 of them focus their fire, it is indeed possible to kill it in seconds. It doesn't matter if it doesn't die in seconds, Yang Tian can also deepen the damage. Rising Dragon Transformation Stage 2. Shocking the mountains and forests. Divine Dragon Transformation. Tyrant Dragon Power. Light Energy Transformation. Light Energy Transformation. In an instant, Yang Tian and the other 4 showed their peak postures, and their momentum surged out. At this moment, the sleeping Dowdy suddenly opened his eyes. All wild animals have an instinctive alertness to danger, and Dowdy, as a second-level divine beast, is even more so. When Yang Tian and the other 4 were in normal conditions, it could not feel the danger at all. But now, when Yang Tian and the other 4 showed their peak posture, it instantly noticed. It's awake, quick attack, Yang Tian roared, and instantly threw out 3 skills. Bone Spear. TP Bone Spear. Cursed Arrow. Huang Mao also swept with a spear, sweeping thousands of troops. At this time, Dowdy had already stood up and suddenly opened his big mouth. The mouth that was originally 5 yards long suddenly became several times larger. That mouth wished it was as big as its body. Tunshan Domineering. Roar. With a roar, the sky and the earth changed color, and above the dim sky, the thunder dragon rolled. The wind was blowing violently. The land on all sides cracked, the jungle was destroyed, the mountains were shattered, the rivers were surging, and the air was filled with black smoke. The endless headwind sent everything in this world into the mouth of the Daudi. For a moment, Yang Tian and the other four looked horrified, as if they were sealed by some tyrannical force and could not move. They were also sent to the mouth of the Daudi by the headwind. The next moment, the dark clouds retreated and the sun shone. The beauty of Daowen was gone, and the mountains, rivers, and trees all disappeared without a trace. It was like a wilderness, a plain. The land on all sides rolled up and was quite moist, as if it had been plowed by a group of wild bulls. Burp. In the wilderness, the Daudi stepped on the ground with 4 feet, burped for a long time, exhaled a breath of black air, and shattered the surrounding space. Since humans have come in, it means that I am finally free. The Daudi spoke human words and howled continuously. It had been hungry for as many years as it had been sealed. Now, once it comes out of the mountain, it will destroy the world. What the hell? Daudi suddenly lowered his head and vomited a few times, vomiting out some equipment, materials, and coins. These things were exactly what Huang Mao Xiaofei, Qin Yu, and the other two exploded. And it can't digest these things. In other words, it has basically digested everything it swallowed just now. And, it's really disgusting. Daudi vomited again, vomiting out a corpse. That was not an ordinary corpse, because it could digest ordinary corpses. That corpse was the mutated corpse of Yang Tian's corpse. Yang Tian did not die. To be precise, he died once, but because of the effect of the bloodline of the Rotten Earth Ninja corpse, the Rotten Earth turned around. Yang Tian died once, and the buff of the second stage of the Rising Dragon transformation and the terrifying mountain forest disappeared. At this time, the two skills were also in a CD of up to 10 minutes. But at the same time, it was precisely because he died once that he was not negatively affected by the second stage of the Rising Dragon transformation. Yang Tian was in a normal state at this time. Wow, what kind of monster are you? You were eaten by me, but you can still survive, Daudi said in surprise. Monster cancels monster, 50 steps and 100 steps. Undead transformation, Netherworld assassin. Cutthroat. Yang Tian did not reply, and directly rushed up with a knife. Bang. Daudi slapped out with a claw, and hit Yang Tian first. For a moment, Yang Tian's eyes widened, and he felt that his body was hit by a truck, and his body flew out uncontrollably. In the process of flying backwards, Yang Tian's dirty soil quickly fell off, and in the blink of an eye, only a green corpse pill was left. This obviously means that he was killed again. His combat power is invincible, even in normal conditions. I am afraid he will not lose to the second-level beast. But compared with the second-level beast, his life defense is still too fragile. Of course, because of the filthy earth corpse, as long as he ensures that the corpse pill is not destroyed, he will be immortal, and the filthy earth body will grow quickly. Not dead yet, Daudi had no patience to begin with, and now he was finally furious, moving his body, carrying infinite pressure, and rushing towards Yang Tian's green corpse pill. Now, this green corpse pill is considered Yang Tian's body, of course he can move. At that time, when the filthy earth ninja corpse only had the corpse pill, the filthy earth ninja corpse did not move. That's because the filthy earth ninja corpse has no wisdom and is not afraid of death. But Yang Tian is wise and afraid of death, so of course he has to move. Not only to move, but also to release skills. Doqi turns into wings. Undercurrent. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 642. Above the wasteland. A pair of purple light wings were inserted behind a green corpse pill, and a huge undercurrent with a diameter of 100 yards was stirred around it, flying forward at a rapid speed. Behind it, the Daudi beast was chasing it relentlessly. This scene was quite funny. Yang Tian had reached the divine realm, with a basic movement speed of 100 points, and 180 points after opening the Doqi wings. And the Daodi's movement speed was exactly 200 points. Fortunately, the Daodi's movement speed was only 140 points when it was in the undercurrent, which was greatly weakened. So, Daodi was quickly pulled away by Yang Tian and thrown out of the undercurrent. At this time, its movement speed recovered to 200 points, and it rushed forward again, and fell into the undercurrent again, and its movement speed was greatly reduced. It was pulled away again and thrown out of the undercurrent again. In this cycle, Yang Tian has grown a complete corpse of the filthy earth, and Daodi can never catch up with Yang Tian, and roars in anger. So Daodi's speed is just like this. Yang Tian smiled grimly. Because of the undead transformation, he can transform into many professions, including archers, of course, and his walking shooting technique is perfect. As long as the speed is not as fast as it, no matter how strong the enemy is, he will be kited to death, and he can't escape. Undead transformation, skeleton archer. Meteor arrow. Yang Tian's longbow is full of the moon, and with a swoosh, a golden arrow breaks through the air and hits Daodi. Yang Tian has the blood of the white tiger, and it will deal 10 times the true damage to all dark life. Daodi is a second-level beast, and its defense and even various resistances must be terrifyingly high. But it has no defense in front of Yang Tian. Yang Tian fired a meteor arrow that directly hit a damage of over 100 megabytes and stunned Daodi, but the health bar above Daodi's head only dropped by less than 1/10. This means that Daodi's HP is more than 1000 megabytes, which is simply terrifying. But it didn't work. Armor-piercing arrows. Multiple arrows. Arrow rain. Damage deepened. Yang Tian fired wildly again, and with the damage deepened, Daodi was instantly beaten to a residual health. At this time, Daodi woke up from the dizziness, and looked at Yang Tian again with a look of fear, and it turned around and ran away. Its own movement speed is faster than Yang Tian. As long as it escapes from the undercurrent and continues to run away, Yang Tian really can't do anything to it. But how could Yang Tian give it such a chance? Just as Daodi escaped from the gravitational range of the undercurrent, and its speed increased dramatically, Yang Tian immediately flashed and moved forward to move closer. The gravitational effect of the undercurrent once again acted on Daodi, causing Daodi's speed to drop sharply again. Yang Tian sneered, and the last arrow hit Daodi's back, triggering a triple back attack and taking Daodi away. An evil god fell. China Warzone broadcast. Congratulations to the player Muddy Waters for completing the first kill of the second-level beast Daodi, with an additional reward of 100 skill points and 30 billion experience points. The broadcast sounded, and the China Warzone was in turmoil, shocking everyone. Brother Shui is always Brother Shui. The Saint King slaughtered gods as easily as eating and drinking water. Now the god realm can easily slaughter second-level beasts. It's so terrifying. 666, Brother Shui is invincible. Awesome. With Brother Shui here, our world champion is stable. Second-level beasts, who else can kill second-level beasts now except Brother Shui? Countless players were excited. At this time, Yang Tian landed and flew to the body of Daodi. Since it was the first kill, Daodi naturally exploded Daodi blood, but no artifacts. This once again shows the preciousness and rarity of artifacts. Even the first kill of a second-level beast may not explode. The drop of Daodi blood was pitch black, about the size of a pigeon egg, and suspended in the air. It seemed to have life, and it was still expanding and contracting, like a beating heart, which was extremely weird. The blood of the three evil gods was too weird. Just talking about the blood of the greedy wolf, after Gongbin obtained the blood of the greedy wolf, even his mentality changed. Yang Tian had fought with Gongbin before, and naturally he could see that the latter was very different from ordinary people. Daodi bloodline, second level divine beast bloodline / consumable after use, the attributes are greatly improved, and the bloodline skill Swallowing Heaven Domineering is obtained. Swallowing Heaven Domineering. Active effect, can devour an area. If there is a life target in the area, it can only devour life targets with a lower realm than itself. Cooling time, 1 day. Passive effect, the devoured gains can be converted into energy, gradually strengthening itself. Swallowing Heaven Domineering? So that's it. Yang Tian nodded, and there was a hint of enlightenment in his heart. This Daodi is a second-level divine beast. When the Swallowing Heaven Domineering was opened, he and Huang Mao and others had no chance to resist at all, and were directly swallowed and killed instantly. Of course, if he got the blood of the Daodi and used the Swallowing Heaven Domineering, he could only swallow and kill the Saint King and weaker lives instantly. In addition to the active effect, this Swallowing Domineering power also has a passive effect, converting what is swallowed into energy. What does this energy mean? Yang Tian thinks that it is the experience value. There is no experience value in the God realm, so it is the merit value. Yang Tian has a free and easy personality and does not pursue power and money too much. He wants to reach the peak of Taixu not to dominate the world or to satisfy his own desires, but simply to destroy more Zerg. Born as a son of the earth, given life by the earth, he naturally cannot stand idly by when the earth is in trouble and his fellow human beings are in trouble. Of course, in addition to this, he also has a heart to become stronger. Most men admire the use of force, and he is no exception. The game is fine, and now he is not close to the peak, but not far away. But games are games, and reality is reality. In reality, there is naturally no leveling up by killing monsters, and there is no way to practice, at least the humans on Earth cannot practice, there is no so-called practice method. In reality, for the humans on Earth, the only way to continue to become stronger is to take insect pills and absorb the pure energy contained in insect pills. However, first of all, ordinary Zergs do not have insect pills in their bodies, only God-level Zergs may have them. Some God-level Zergs do not have insect pills in their bodies. In other words, it is actually very difficult for human awakeners to continue to become stronger. But if you have the blood of Daodi, it will be different. You can directly devour life, convert energy, and become stronger directly. So Yang Tian must have this Daodi blood. I just don't know if my character will be affected after having the blood of Daodi. At least, I don't want to eat people. No matter what, Daodi is just greedy, much more docile than the greedy wolf. Besides, I have the blood of the white tiger in my body, which should be able to suppress the evil nature of the Daodi blood. Yang Tian thought about it and put the Daodi blood into his mouth. System, please choose to replace the blood. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian was suddenly stunned and couldn't believe it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 643. Generally speaking, humans only have one bloodline in their bodies. If they swallow another bloodline, the previous bloodline will be replaced. The human king can have up to 7 bloodlines at the same time. If they swallow the 8th bloodline, they will obviously have to replace one bloodline. At this time, the human king can choose to give up the bloodline. This is not a problem. But the key is that Yang Tian currently only has 6 bloodlines. Yellow Dragon, White Tiger, Black Tortoise, Lich King, Evil Suppressing Stone Lion, Evil Ninja Corpse. This Daodi bloodline should be my 7th bloodline. It's not full, what's the point of replacing it? Yang Tian carefully counted the bloodlines he had again. There was no mistake, which made him even more unbelievable. However, the system ignored his complaints and started a 60-second countdown. In other words, if Yang Tian did not make a choice within 60 seconds, the Daodi bloodline would disappear directly. Suzaku. Oh, I once failed to use the blood of Suzaku. Considering the current situation, could it be that I really have the blood of Suzaku, or even some kind of divine bird stronger than Suzaku? Yang Tian's heart moved. He himself thought this was a fantasy. But he had experienced rebirth. Rebirth is obviously even more fantasy. And his rebirth is not just a simple rebirth. He even traveled through time and space and returned to 5 years before the end of the world. Yang Tian couldn't think too much about all these bizarre events at this time. He had to make a choice. After all, he didn't want to give up the blood of Daodi anyway. In the end, he chose to give up the blood of the Impure World Ninja Corpse. This blood of the Impure World Ninja Corpse is still a bit useful in the game. For example, if he didn't have the blood of the Impure World Ninja Corpse before, he would have been killed by Daodi in seconds. But in reality, the meaning of the Impure World Ninja Corpse is not great. Even if he died in battle, he was unwilling to live the rest of his life in the Impure World form. Moreover, if he really had some kind of divine bird bloodline similar to Suzaku, he would be an immortal being. In comparison, the bloodline of the Impure World Shinobi Corpse seemed too low-end. Of course, even if he really had some kind of divine bird bloodline in his body, it was not awakened now. After making the choice, Yang Tian got the bloodline of Daodi and lost the bloodline of the Impure World Shinobi Corpse. His eyes went dark and he fell to the ground. He died, and something exploded. He lost the bloodline of the Impure World Shinobi Corpse, and naturally lost the corresponding ability. In Takezu, after the player died, he became a corpse, but still had consciousness and Grey God's vision. At this time, if a priest cast a resurrection spell on the corpse, the player can be resurrected and will not drop in level, but will only lose 20% of the current level of experience. Of course, Huangmao Xiaofei, Qin Yu, and the other 3 were swallowed by Daodi before, and their bodies were digested instantly, so they were all sent back to the city for free. Yang Tian had already cleaned up the spoils dropped by the Daodi and the 3 yellow-haired men. At this time, through the grey perspective, Yang Tian found that he had only dropped a few pieces of junk equipment and some coins, so he didn't care too much and went back to the city to revive. Of course, he is now in the God realm, and the lower level limit is 200, and returning to the city to revive will not reduce the level. Xianyuan Empire, a resurrection point in Xianyuan City. A flash of white light, Yang Tian suddenly appeared. Hiss. Suddenly, Yang Tian's stomach rumbled, as if he hadn't eaten for 800 years, and he felt hungry. What's more terrifying is that he looked at the many players on the street, his eyes actually glowed green, swallowed his saliva wildly, and aroused endless greed in his heart. The feeling of being unable to control himself made him shudder, and he couldn't help but gasp, and his body trembled slightly. If he was dominated by this evil desire, he would sooner or later become a human-shaped Daodi. It is indeed the blood of the evil god. How come the white tiger blood can't be suppressed? Or, the white tiger blood has been suppressed, but it can't be completely suppressed? After all, this Daodi blood is the blood of the second-level divine beast. Twitching hunger, evil greed came like a tide, and countless negative emotions were instantly aroused in Yang Tian's heart. He couldn't help but roared, causing countless players on the street to look at him sideways. But Yang Tian had already turned into white light and disappeared. World Ocean. With a flash of white light, Yang Tian suddenly appeared in the teleportation array of an island in the world ocean. This teleportation array was arranged by him when he slaughtered the divine beasts before. In a short moment, he had become skinny, his eyes were bloodshot, and there was unimaginable depression and pain in his heart. I can't care about so much, roar, Yang Tian roared, and the mountains collapsed and the tsunami. Swallowing the sky domineering. At this moment, Yang Tian actually transformed into a Daodi, with his feet on the void, his head raised, and his bloody mouth opened. Instantly, the sky and the earth changed color, and lightning and thunder roared. The wind blew violently, and the sea water, sea monsters, and countless rubbles of the islands shattered by Yang Tian's roar, and many monsters on the islands, all flew into the air. The endless headwind sent everything in this area to the mouth of Dowdy. The heaven-swallowing domineering aura can devour an area. For Dowdy or those with Dowdy bloodline, this area can be large or small, but there is also a maximum range limit. The higher the realm of Dowdy and those with Dowdy bloodline, the larger the area that can be devoured. According to legend, Dowdy can even devour a world. How terrifying it is! However, Yang Tian is only in the god realm. The area that he can devour with the heaven-swallowing domineering aura is at most comparable to a city. In a moment, Yang Tian was in an area as big as a city, and the sky and sea water were all drained, like a primitive and empty land. However, the sky is big, and the ocean is also big, much bigger than a city. So in a short moment, the sky regained its color, and the sea water reappeared in the sea area under Yang Tian's feet, and it rose rapidly. After Yang Tian burped, he instantly returned to his original human form, and a strange sense of satisfaction instantly filled his internal organs and every cell in his body. Yang Tian couldn't help but shudder. It seems that I must upgrade the White Tiger bloodline to the second-level Divine Beast bloodline as soon as possible. Yang Tian's face was solemn. He didn't want to do something irreparable. Eating people in the game is fine. If you eat people in reality, eat bad people, that's fine. But if you eat ordinary people, especially the elderly and children, he himself can hardly forgive himself. However, when he thought of this, he was instantly shocked and broke out in a cold sweat. He found that he had lowered his standards without realizing it. You know, before getting the Dowdy bloodline, Yang Tian had never thought of eating people, not even in the game. And now, he actually felt that eating people in the game was okay, even in reality, it didn't matter if he ate bad people. It seemed like nothing. But his mind was as solid as a rock, and many things and many ideas would not change. Now it changed easily, which itself was a problem. When the bottom line is broken again and again, it will inevitably step into the abyss of despair. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 644. Yang Tian has been a human being for 2 generations. He has experienced too much and understands human nature too well. Sometimes, good and evil can happen in just a thought. If you say you will never become bad, it only means that you are not tempted enough. A truly mature and powerful person will not only avoid making mistakes himself, but also try to avoid situations where he is tempted. Once the bottom line is breached, it is no longer the bottom line. There will be a second or third time immediately, and then you will be unable to extricate yourself. At this time, Yang Tian was unable to suppress the evil thoughts in his body. The only way he could avoid making mistakes was to upgrade the White Tiger bloodline in his body as soon as possible. Yang Tian called up the attribute panel. At this time, his progress bar for promotion to the second-level god increased slightly. The progress bar has a total of 100 scales, representing 10 billion merit points. Now Yang Tian has more than 100 million merit points, an increase of about 1.5%, and is a black scale. Why the scale is black may be related to his dark attribute. At this time, in addition to the black scale, he also had a green energy scale. A total of about 2%. Yang Tian was quite surprised by this discovery. Swallowing heaven's haki swallows life and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and the energy transformed can be completely understood as the experience points required for his upgrade or promotion. Although it is not a merit value, the effect is the same. Merit points and green energy can be superimposed together. As soon as the progress bar is full, he will be directly promoted to a second-level god. After all, he already has the bloodline of a second-level divine beast. For him, there is no bottleneck in advancing to a second-level god. In addition, with the appearance of the green energy scale, his attributes will increase. The sky-swallowing domineering energy swallows the life and aura of heaven and earth in an area, directly converting energy to strengthen oneself. Just like Greedy Wolf or those with Greedy Wolf bloodline, the higher the position of power, the stronger the power. The evil god is so terrifying. Since it is so powerful, I have nothing to say about taking risks. Yang Tian's eyes flashed, and he firmly believed that as long as the White Tiger bloodline was promoted to the second-level Divine Beast bloodline, the evil nature of the Dowdy bloodline could be suppressed. Believing in this is enough. Of course, now he has only added a hint of green energy, and not many attributes have been improved. Why only a hint of green energy added? Very understandable. Because he only has the Divine Realm now, and using the sky-swallowing domineering energy, he can only swallow the lives of the Holy Realm at most. For those who are powerful in the Divine Realm, they naturally do not get much energy by devouring the lives of the Holy Realm. As for the devoured spiritual energy of heaven and earth, it is purely welfare, and the energy is even less. Yang Tian is not greedy and is very satisfied. After all, this ability is already very powerful. At least at the end of the world, he can become stronger faster than other awakened ones. He had just had a good meal, and the Dowdy blood in his body no longer acted like a monster. At this time, Yang Tian was in excellent condition. After a while, Yang Tian and Huang Mao gathered together and arrived at the forest of the world. You said that you can reach the divine realm by climbing the world's sacred tree. Ha, since there is an angel realm and a demon realm, I know there must be a god realm, Huang Mao said continuously, with an excited look on his face. It was obvious that he did not want to stop at the god realm. Let's publicize this matter a little. After all, our real enemy is only the Zerg, Huang Mao said suddenly, with awe-inspiring righteousness. Yang Tian nodded, logged into the official website, and posted anonymously to make the matter public. The world's sacred tree, each war zone has one. Yang Tian guessed that this world's sacred tree should be the support point connecting the divine realm. Yang Tian Huang Mao didn't really climb, but clung to the sacred tree and soared upwards. After an unknown amount of time, Yang Tian and Huang Mao finally reached the top of the sacred tree. There was a light gathering channel even higher up. Yang Tian and the others rushed directly into the passage without hesitation. The map of God's domain is not as big as imagined, it is equivalent to an imperial city. This divine realm seems to be built on clouds, with an awe-inspiring celestial spirit and many ancient and simple buildings. System, you discovered God's domain. As the system prompt sounded in his ears, Yang Tian Huang Mao appeared at the entrance to the divine realm. Welcome you two adults. There was a middle-aged envoy at the entrance of the divine realm, bowing slightly to greet Yang Tian Huang Mao. Yang Tian Huang Mao was startled, and when he glanced around, he found that the envoy was only in the realm of a holy king, and he was even more shocked. The two of you have achieved divine status in the lower realm. Is this the first time you have come to the divine realm? The messenger said. Yang Tian Huang Mao nodded. The envoy smiled, only the powerful ones in the divine realm can enter this divine realm. The two adults seemed to be surprised. Why is there such a holy king in the divine realm? Yang Tian Huang Mao nodded without hesitation. After all, their strength far surpassed that of the messenger, so naturally there was no need to shy away from anything. This is very simple. Because no matter how powerful a god is, he is still a human being in essence, and he also has 7 emotions and 6 desires. Saint kings like me are the descendants of the gods. In fact, it's not just the holy king, there are even ordinary people in this divine realm. The messenger told the story. That's it, Yang Tian Huang Mao suddenly realized. Just like the realm of angels and demons, there are also many 2-winged angels and 2-winged demons in them. Of course, the descendants of angels and demons, at least the 2-winged angels, and the two winged demons are born into the realm of spiritual kings. To a certain extent, the blood genes of angels and demons are much more powerful than humans. Let me introduce myself. I am Hufu, the envoy of the divine realm. You two adults just need to give me 10,000 merit points each, and I will act as a guide for you two adults to help you better understand the God realm, Hufu said with a smile. He is just a holy king, and merit points are useless to him. But he can save them first, and they will be useful when he achieves the status of a god in the future. At this time, Yang Tian was stunned. Why, can this merit point still be traded? Yes, in the god realm, merit points are the main currency in circulation, and gold, silver, and jewelry in the lower world are like white paper and chaff, Hufu explained. Yang Tian and Huang Mao looked at each other and traded directly, but they could not trade merit points between the two of them. That is to say, players cannot trade merit points. Give it, Yang Tian said to Huang Mao. Yang Tian stopped at God in his previous life and had never been to the God realm. He had no understanding of the God realm. If there is a guide, their trip to the God realm will undoubtedly be much more pleasant. Moreover, for the strong men in the God realm, 10,000 merit points are just a drizzle. Yang Tian and the other two readily gave Hufu the merit points, and the latter immediately smiled and looked like a profiteer. Next, Hufu led the way and took Yang Tian and Huang Mao to visit the scenery of the God realm. Soon, the three of them stopped in front of a building. The building had a very high standard name, called the Awakening Hall. Hufu, why did you stop? Yang Tian asked. You two have just ascended from the lower realm to the God realm, and you probably haven't awakened your God realm talent yet, Hufu said. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 645. Godly Talent. Yang Tian and Huang Mao looked at each other and were startled. Are there any talents in the divine realm? No, since angels and demons all have talents, why don't they have talents in the divine realm? The talent in the divine realm is the clone of the god, Hufu talked eloquently. Although he is only a holy king, he has lived in the divine realm since he was a child, and his vision is much higher than that of Yang Tian Huang Mao. This avatar of God is different from ordinary avatars. It is an entity. If it is not killed in battle, it will exist forever. Furthermore, the clone of God possesses a ray of divine thought from the original deity. It is an independent individual that can think, fight, and know everything. Of course, the consciousness of the original deity and the clone of God are interconnected. It takes tens of billions of merit points to awaken the talent of God's clone. After awakening the talent, a strong person in the divine realm will have to spend additional merit points to cast a God's clone. The avatar of a god forged by a powerful person in the divine realm has exactly the same strength as the original one. It can even grow and become stronger. It is very wonderful. Hufu became more and more excited as he spoke, and there was also a trace of yearning in his heart. Does it take tens of billions of merit points to awaken the talent of God's clone? Nonsense, if I had tens of billions of merit, I would be a second-level god now, Huang Mao scolded. Sir, please don't be angry. I am an envoy from the divine realm. Naturally, I have to introduce you to many matters in the divine realm. Hufu still had a smile on his face. Yang Tian's kicked Huang Mao on the butt. Huang Mao also felt that he had lost his composure and sneered at Hufu. Mr. Hufu, I was reckless. Hufu smiled and didn't take it seriously. His service attitude was so good that Huang Mao felt even more embarrassed. Huang Mao, please be careful, this messenger from the god's realm is a good job. This Hufu may have a good background, Yang Tian said in a message. Yeah, I know, Huang Mao nodded. Next, Hufu took Yang Tian Huang Mao to a commodity store, where many products were displayed everywhere, all with clearly marked prices. There are secular things and divine things, and you need to spend merit points to buy them. Most worldly things are very cheap, and the cheapest ones only require 1 point of merit. and the price of all divine objects is astronomical. There are many gods and artifacts in the store. Any artifact starts with tens of billions of merit points. In front of you is the Hall of Merit, which is the most important place in our divine domain. Hu Fu pointed to a huge and magnificent building in front of him and said to Yang Tian Huangmao. The Hall of Merit is very lively, with many pedestrians coming in and out, and most of them are powerful people in the divine realm. There are even a few second-level gods. What is the Hall of Merit and Virtue for? Huangmao asked. It is a place where we receive tasks. There, we can spend merit points to release tasks, or we can complete tasks and earn merit points, Hu Fu said. I see. But if we have the strength, wouldn't it be faster if we kill angels and demons and gain merit points? Yang Tian asked with a frown. Huangmao also nodded. Haha, it seems that the two adults are confident enough in their own strength. It's a pity that the Great Void battlefield is only opened on the 1st of every month, and it's only open for 7 days at a time, Hu Fu said eloquently. Taigzi battlefield. Faced with Yang Tian Huangmao's doubts, Hu Fu quickly gave an in-depth explanation. The realm of gods, the realm of angels, and the realm of demons, each of these three upper realms occupies one side. The Taigzi battlefield is the only place that connects the three realms. The Taigzi battlefield is huge, far larger than the three domains combined. The Taigzi battlefield is also one of the upper realms. The heaven and earth are full of spiritual energy and breed many monsters, and they are at least spiritual beasts and above. Even divine beasts are not uncommon. Because of the complex relationship between the divine, angelic and demonic realms, killing battles are inevitable. The battle venue is the Taigzi battlefield. A strong person in the divine realm can gain merit points by killing angels and demons. Angels, kill angels, humans and monsters, devour their souls, and obtain light energy. Demons, kill demons, humans, monsters, devour their blood or divine flow, and obtain dark energy. Because of this, people in the divine realm are often attacked by angels and demons. Strong people in the divine realm are also human beings in nature. This must be made clear first. In the same realm, humans are no match for angels and demons. It's like an ordinary god-level strongman with no bloodline, and only Godhead can only be tortured and killed by 8-winged angels and 8-winged demons. And Yang Tian Huangmao is a special case among special cases because he has a strong foundation as a human king. So in other words, the realm of gods, the realm of angels, the realm of demons. Among the three upper realms, the divine realm is the weakest force. According to common sense, the divine realm has long been destroyed. Fortunately, there is only one 12-winged angel in the angel domain. There is only one 12-winged demon in the demon realm. But within the divine domain, there are 3 divine kings. Note that the God King here is not a realm, it is just a title, considered the leader of the gods. The realm of the 3 God Kings are all 3rd-level gods. The 3 God Kings work together to cast a barrier and seal the Taigzi battlefield. Because of the enchantment, people in the divine realm can freely enter and leave the Taigzi battlefield, but angels and demons cannot. Angels and demons themselves are a very cruel race. In order to become stronger, it is very common to kill each other. When the Taigzi battlefield is sealed and angels and demons cannot enter the Taigzi battlefield, a large-scale civil war will occur. Angels fight angels, devils fight devils, kill each other. It must be said that the barrier created by the 3 God Kings was simply amazing. But the 12-winged angel and the 12-winged demon were not happy with it. As the saying goes, the higher the Tao, the higher the demon. You 3 God Kings cast the barrier, and I, the 12-winged angel and the 12-winged demon, will naturally break the barrier. In a month, they will break the barrier. The Great Void battlefield is open. But it took them a month to break the barrier, and they were also very weak and unable to participate in the battle. On the other hand, the 3 God Kings maintained a huge barrier for a month, which was also very weak and unable to participate in the battle, so they continued to cast the barrier. So, the Great Void battlefield is opened on the first day of every month, and it is open for 7 days at a time. This delicate balance has lasted for who knows how many years. It can be foreseen that, as long as another third-level god is born in the 3 parties of the god realm, the angel realm, and the demon realm, this balance will be broken in an instant and sweep away everything. Hufu, a first-level god, needs 10 billion merit points to be promoted to a second-level god. I wonder how many merit points a second-level god needs to be promoted to a third-level god, Yang Tian asked curiously. 100 trillion, Hufu answered fluently. Yang Tian and Huang Mao looked at each other and were both shocked. A first-level god can be promoted to a second-level god by killing 100 8-winged angels or 8-winged demons. But a second-level god needs to kill 1,000,000 8-winged angels or 8-winged demons to be promoted to a third-level god. The difference between the two is a little big, right? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 646. That's right, Hufu. 8-winged angels accumulate 10 billion light energies and are directly promoted to 10-winged angels. 10-winged angels accumulate 100 trillion light energies and are directly promoted to 12-winged angels. The same goes for demons. But in our human realm, after accumulating 10 billion merit points, we must have a second-level godhood or a second-level divine beast bloodline to be promoted to a second-level god. A second-level god accumulates 100 trillion merit points and must have a third-level godhood or a third-level divine beast bloodline to be promoted to a third-level god. Second-level godhood or second-level divine beast bloodline, that's easy to say, but where can there be such a thing as a third-level godhood and a third-level divine beast bloodline? Yang Tian asked in confusion. There are 3 god kings in the divine realm, they are all third-level gods, they must have third-level godhood or third-level divine beast bloodline in their bodies. But can you kill them? Don't worry, sir, after a second-level god accumulates 100 trillion merit points, a third-level godhood will be descended from the sky and promoted directly, Hufu said. Are you sure? Yang Tian and Huang Mao's eyes lit up. Yes, this is what the 3 great gods said, Hufu said. Yang Tian and Huang Mao heard this, and the big stone in their hearts finally fell. They can beat the demons at will. As long as the Taixu battlefield is opened, it is actually very easy for them to obtain merit points. Yang Tian and Huang Mao entered the merit hall together with Hufu and browsed some tasks. The most common and highly rewarding tasks are to collect dead souls. For example, if you collect the residual soul of a designated god-level strongman, you can get a reward of tens of millions of merit points. If you collect all the residual souls of the god-level strongman and get a soul ball, the reward starts at 1 billion. The upper realm has existed for an unknown number of years. The Taixu battlefield has been opened for an unknown number of times. Obviously, countless humans, angels, and demons will die in battle, their souls will be separated, and they will wander in the Taixu battlefield. And most of those who issue such tasks in the god realm are relatives of the deceased, who are willing to pay merit points to find their relatives. Their relatives are dead, and they are just residual souls. Even if all the residual souls are gathered, it is just a soul ball. Is it necessary for them to pay such a high price to issue the mission? Yang Tian raised his doubts. Didn't you notice, sir? There is a thing called divine tool in the commodity store we passed just now, Hufu asked. I didn't pay much attention. Yang Tian shook his head. Hufu was not annoyed and patiently explained. It turns out that this divine tool is a body. And the soul ball belongs to the completed soul. When the soul ball is poured into the divine tool, the dead are resurrected and have life again. And this divine tool is very similar to the human body, there is no inconvenience in movement, and it can even change appearance, gender, and body shape. This divine tool is a first-level divine object. No matter how strong the soul drive is, it can only exert the combat power of a first-level god. If a second-level god is resurrected through the divine tool, if he forcibly uses the combat power of a second-level god, the divine tool will explode instantly. This is far inferior to the golden skeleton body made by Yang Tian. After all, the golden skeleton body he made is a growing type, and its strength is synchronized with the soul. Of course, in terms of beauty alone, the golden skeleton body is naturally far inferior to the divine tool. And the price of the divine tool is not too expensive. A set of divine tools is sold for 100 million merit points. Yang Tian and Huang Mao did not accept the task, and followed Hu Fu to another place, the Soul Realm. This Soul Realm is similar to a copy, and it is very large inside, like a world. The Soul Realm, as the name suggests, is the residence of many souls. Every NPC in Taixu has a soul. Ordinary people have only one soul, while the strong have several souls, which are the so-called souls. After the death of the NPC, the soul will leave the body, some will ascend to the soul world, and most will wander around. If the dead souls that are not in the soul world are killed again, they will either be taken away by someone, or they will be automatically sent to the soul world. Over the years, there are countless dead souls in this soul world. This soul world is the place of peace for the dead. There is no war or dispute here. It is very peaceful, Hu Fu introduced. Yang Tian Huangmao felt keenly that this soul world was like a special barrier. Everyone in it was invincible and could not fight at all. At this time, Yang Tian Huangmao looked around and saw many dead souls, including human dead souls, angel dead souls, and demon dead souls. There were no monster dead souls. It can be seen from this that the monsters in Taixu have no souls. Xiaojin, Yang Tian was startled and suddenly thought of something. Xiaojin was killed by the Four-Nation Coalition army in the human world. I asked Dr. Edith to find Xiaojin's residual soul, but I couldn't find it. Could it be that Xiaojin's residual soul has ascended to the soul world? Yang Tian guessed. Until now, he still didn't know that the skeleton king Xiaojin was killed by God's left hand. And when Xiaojin fell, a complete soul ball exploded again. Afterwards, God crushed it with his left hand, and Xiaojin's soul ascended to heaven, and is now in the soul world. Although he didn't know the ins and outs of the matter, he guessed that Xiaojin's soul, or a remnant of Xiaojin's soul, might be in this soul world. Mr. Hu Fu, I want to find someone here, is there any way? Yang Tian looked at Hu Fu and said politely. Of course, we can go find the administrator of the soul realm. Of course, Lord Han Shui, if you want to take a certain dead soul or a certain residual soul out of the soul realm, you must pay the corresponding merit points, Hu Fu said. Well, let's go find the administrator of the soul realm first, Yang Tian nodded. At present, his merit points plus green energy are about 200 million. If Xiaojin's dead soul or a certain residual soul is here, I don't know if it is enough to take it out. After a while, Yang Tian and the other two found the administrator of the soul realm in front of a small hut. It was a kind old man with grey hair, only at the Saint King level. This soul realm is very special, there is no fighting, so anyone can manage it properly. At this time, the old man was sitting in the air, playing musical instruments. Beside him, a group of dead souls and residual souls were gathered, listening to his performance quietly, with a happy look on their faces. Even the dead souls of angels and demons are the same. After all, they are dead and naturally have no desires. Yang Tian did not disturb the old man until the old man finished his song. Hu Fu, two adults, do you have something to ask me? The old man had obviously expected the arrival of Yang Tian and the other two, and after the performance, he bowed and said. Old sir, I want to find someone, Yang Tian said. Who is it? Please tell me your name, the old man said. My real name is the Skeleton Saint King, but I call it Xiaojin, Yang Tian said. Well, I know, the old man nodded without thinking. After all, Xiaojin's existence is too special, and he is probably the only monster in the world with a soul. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 647. Xiaojin's existence is classified as an NPC. Of course, this is true for all the skeleton lives created by Yang Tian using the skeleton manufacturing technique. However, Xiaojin is the most special to Yang Tian. After all, there is a deep bond between the two. Speaking of which, Yang Tian's success today is inseparable from Xiaojin's help in the early and middle stages. Friends, can you help me call it? The old man looked at the many dead souls and residual souls around him and said. Skeleton Saint King. Skeleton Saint King. Skeleton Saint King. Xiaojin. 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 Someone is looking for you. The dead souls and residual souls gave the old man face and shouted loudly. This voice spread from 1 to 10, and from 10 to 100, and the dead souls and residual souls in the distance also followed suit. Yang Tian and Huang Mao were all stunned, secretly thinking that there was such an operation, which was an eye-opener. After a while, Xiaojin flew in the air. It is now just a dead soul, a spirit, and its body is illusory. When it saw Yang Tian, it immediately knelt on one knee and said respectfully, Master. Yang Tian was also very happy to meet Xiaojin again. Sir, if you want to bring it out, you need to pay merit points, the old man said. How much? Saint King Realm, complete soul, well, it needs 10 million merit points, the old man said. Yang Tian nodded and breathed a sigh of relief. He could afford 10 million merit points. After Yang Tian paid 10 million merit points to the old man waved his hand, and Xiaojin turned directly into a soul ball and flew towards Yang Tian. Yang Tian caught it with one hand. Of course, only a complete soul can be transformed into a soul ball. If it is a residual soul, it will still be a residual soul. Old sir, we will not disturb you anymore. After saying goodbye to the old man, Yang Tian and the other two withdrew from the soul world. Afterwards, Yang Tian performed the skeleton manufacturing technique, spent 100 golden bones and Xiaojin's soul ball, and resurrected Xiaojin again. Hu Fu was shocked and praised, Sir, your method is really brilliant, comparable to a divine tool. No, my golden skeleton body is much better than a divine tool, Yang Tian laughed. No way, Hu Fu smiled awkwardly, quite disapproving. The divine tool is a first-level divine object. Even if the soul ball of a second-level god is poured into it, the resurrected second-level god can only use the combat power of a first-level god at most, Yang Tian laughed, but my golden skeleton body is a growth type, and its strength is synchronized with the soul. What? Hu Fu opened his mouth wide in an instant, with an extremely wonderful expression. Sir, if that's true, you'll be rich. I believe your golden skeleton body can be sold at a high price, at least 1 billion merit points. No, it can even be sold at a higher price, Hu Fu said excitedly. Yang Tian laughed and shook his head, it's a pity that I don't have enough materials. That's a pity, Hu Fu also sighed. Yang Tian's skeleton manufacturing technique is essentially about creating life, creating skeleton life. And if a complete soul ball is added during the creation process, it is about resurrecting life. Ordinary bones cannot revive life. Only golden bones can revive life. Next, Hu Fu took Yang Tian and Huang Mao to look around. Finally, he took the two into the Taixu battlefield and said goodbye and left. The Taixu battlefield is extremely large, and every inch of land inside it exudes a bloody smell and is full of murderous atmosphere. Yang Tian and Huang Mao walked for a while, but did not find a monster. This Taixu battlefield breeds many monsters and demon beasts, at least they are all above the realm of spirit beasts, and the number is relatively small compared to the entire Taixu battlefield. Yang Tian took out the search instrument. He did not choose to search for divine beasts, but searched for residual souls above the Lord. Now, he and Huang Mao have reached the divine realm, and the first kill of a divine beast only gets experience points and skill points. That is useless, they are naturally not interested in divine beasts. By collecting the residual souls, and further obtaining soul balls, crushing them, and sending them to the soul world, you can get merit points. The two of them did not accept any tasks in the merit hall. After all, how many residual souls are there in this Taixu battlefield? It is too difficult to find a specific residual soul, just like looking for a needle in a haystack. Xiaojin can devour souls to evolve. A single residual soul is useless to Yang Tian and Huang Mao. Xiaojin can accumulate evolutionary energy by swallowing it. A soul ball, such as the soul ball of a strong man in the god realm, Yang Tian Huang Mao can get 100 million merit points by crushing it. If Xiaojin swallows it, he will become a god directly. However, if you want to collect soul balls, you must collect all its residual souls, which is very difficult even with search equipment. After all, this Taixu battlefield is too big. Therefore, Yang Tian does not plan to collect soul balls, but plans to directly collect residual souls for Xiaojin to swallow. In less than a day, Xiaojin has swallowed many residual souls and promoted to the god realm. It's so boring, Huang Mao complained. Yang Tian and Huang Mao both possess the power of the white tiger, and killing the eight-winged demon is as easy as slaughtering pigs and dogs. As long as the Taixu battlefield is opened, it will be very easy for them to be promoted to the second-level god. However, the Taixu battlefield will not be opened until the 1st of next month. Huang Mao, I'm going to the lower world, Yang Tian suddenly said. What are you going to do? It's even more boring. Huang Mao was stunned. I want to take care of my parents. You know, Taixu will be shut down in a year. I want my parents to at least have the ability to protect themselves in the end times, Yang Tian said. Well, you're right. I'll help my parents level up too, Huang Mao smiled. After hitting it off, the two of them went down to the world at the same time, and then went offline at the same time. In reality, in the evening, Yang Tian returned to his parents' home. After working hard in the game for several years, Yang Tian's net worth was gratifying. He had already bought a house for his parents and moved into a villa area. Now the two elders live a rich life and often travel around the world. They often invite Yang Tian to join them, but where is Yang Tian free? So the two elders scolded him for being unfilial. In addition, Yang Tian's father Yang Donglei likes fishing. When he is free, he will go fishing with his fishing friends. Mother Wang Jing is not idle and also runs a restaurant. As Yang Tian becomes more and more successful, the two elders deeply feel the beauty of life. Now their only wish is that Yang Tian will get married quickly so that they can have grandchildren soon. Speaking of which, Yang Tian is now 26 years old, and he is indeed not young. Using the key to open the iron gate of the villa, Yang Tian saw a familiar figure from afar. It was the Snow Wolf King Xiaobai, who had snow-white hair and looked extremely handsome. At this time, Xiaobai was lying in the yard for a nap. With the sound of the door opening, it stood up alertly. When it found that the person coming was Yang Tian, it immediately showed joy on its face, ran over quickly and threw Yang Tian to the ground, licking Yang Tian's face like a dog. Xiaobai, you are a wolf, how come you become like a dog? Yang Tian sat up and stroked Xiaobai's soft hair, smiling. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 648. Xiaobai seemed to have lost the ferocity of the beast and became much docile. You know, Yang Tian is now a strong man in the divine realm. Even if he deliberately suppresses his aura, the aura is still much stronger than that of ordinary humans. Ordinary people may not be able to feel that kind of aura, but Xiaobai should be able to feel it. However, it wasn't until Yang Tian came to open the door that Xiaobai became alert. There was nothing that could be done about it. Yang Tian knew that his parents had raised Xiaobai like a dog in the past few years. But the reality is too comfortable and comfortable. It is natural that Xiaobai's ferocious nature has degenerated and he has been reduced to the current situation. Xiaobai, where are my parents? Yang Tian stood up and asked. The male owner is fishing, and the female owner is at the hotel. She should be back soon. Yang Tian was connected to Xiaobai's soul. At this time, Xiaobai directly transmitted Yang Tian's soul. Of course, Xiaobai also has the realm of a lord, is very knowledgeable about human nature, and can understand human language. Yang Tian and Xiaobai entered the villa together, and Yang Tian called his parents at the same time. Within half an hour, his parents returned home one after another. Yang's mother, Wang Jing, was filled with joy when she saw Yang Tian coming home. She hurriedly put on an apron and prepared food to catch the wind for Yang Tian. At the dining table, Yang Tian's family was enjoying themselves, making homely meals while eating. Yang Tian has reached the divine realm and has already gone without food. Whether he eats or not is indifferent at all, but eating with his parents and friends is also a very enjoyable thing. Of course, if the dowdy blood in his body acts as a demon, he will also be hungry. But that level of hunger cannot be solved by eating. Mom and Dad, are you still playing the Taixu game? Yang Tian suddenly asked. We rarely play anymore. We are older and can no longer keep up with the pace of you young people, Yang Donglei said with a smile. Yang Tian nodded, not surprised. Xiao Tian, you are not young anymore. Don't indulge in games all day long. The more serious thing is to find me a daughter-in-law as soon as possible, Wang Jing scolded. Yang Tian smiled awkwardly, that's not possible. It's easy to talk about other things, but you can't stop playing this game. Hearing this, Wang Jing suddenly stared. Now that things have happened, Yang Tian also took this opportunity to inform his parents about the suspension of Taixu a year later, the awakening of his full name, and the Zerg invasion of the Earth at any time. As for the universe and the insect realm, he didn't say much. He was afraid that if he spoke too much, the two elders would be under greater psychological pressure and would not be able to bear it. However, even though he only said half of what he said, the second elder was still stunned. Donglei, call 120 quickly. I'm afraid our son's head will be burned out, Wang Jing said as she reached out and touched Yang Tian's forehead in a serious manner. Yang Tian smiled bitterly. He had seen this reaction many times. When he told Huang Mao, Xiaofei, Lang Ling and others about these things, the latter had similar reactions. Xiaobai, come on, say something to my parents. An idea flashed in Yang Tian's mind and he ordered Xiaobai. Master, thank you both for taking care of me, Xiaobai. After hearing Yang Tian's order, Xiaobai nodded meekly, and immediately began to speak human words. At this moment, both elders' eyes widened, as if they were seeing a ghost, and they were extremely frightened. In fact, Yang Tian's father, Yang Donglei, was so frightened that he fell off the table and screamed in pain, ouch, which was extremely real. Mom and Dad, this little Whitea is the pet I captured in the game. It was originally the Snow Wolf King. I let it stay in reality to protect you. I didn't expect that you raised it as a dog. Realizing that the parents were shocked from the look on his face, Yang Tian knew that his parents had already believed it, so he laughed and joked. Xiaobai called out weakly. It is a majestic Snow Wolf King, and being called a dog is undoubtedly a very hurtful thing for one's self-esteem. However, it was his most respected and closest master who said this, and there was nothing he could do about it. Tian'er, are what you just said true? Yang Donglei climbed up, holding the chair with one hand and his waist with the other, and asked urgently. The shock and fear in his eyes were difficult to conceal. It's true, so not only do I want to play the game Taixu, but you also have to play it seriously. Yang Tian suppressed a smile and said, after all, after the national awakening, the strength of us awakened ones will be the same as in the game. The strength is synchronized. Xiao Tian, are those the Zerg you just mentioned, the legendary aliens? Are they going to attack the Earth? Wang Jing asked. Almost the same, but don't worry, when the whole nation wakes up, there will be many strong people on our human side, especially me, your son. Yang Tian said, his expression suddenly straightened, and he said, and Mom and Dad, from now on, I will help you to level up more. When you become stronger, even if you can't kill the Zerg with your own hands, you can still kill some Zerg. We still have the ability to protect ourselves. Yang Tian'e is a god-level necromancer. He ranks second in monster spawning efficiency, and no one dares to rank first. With his guidance, he believed that his parents would be able to reach the full level soon. As for the two godheads for his parents, he had naturally already prepared them. Of course, even if Yang Donglei and his wife reach full level and become gods, because they were brought up, their fighting ability will definitely not be too strong. Combat awareness, combat skills, and skill power are all relatively weak. Belongs to the bottom of existence in the realm of gods. But as long as it reaches that level, Yang Tian will be satisfied. Because of the tragic experience in his previous life, he has a strong desire to protect his parents. He didn't want his parents to fight against the Zerg. As long as his parents had some ability to protect themselves against the Zerg, he would be satisfied. After chatting in depth for a while, Yang Donglei and his wife looked slightly relieved. Although there was still fear in their eyes and their faces were still a little numb, at least they were not too pessimistic and desperate. Back then, when Yang Tian and Lu Yan met the Hat Star Ai Chi on a mission, Lu Yan collapsed and cried in despair when she heard Ai Chi say that there were billions of insect stars in the insect domain. Even someone as strong as Lu Yan couldn't bear that kind of terrifying information. Naturally, Yang Tian didn't dare to talk too deeply with his parents. If he was really scared, he would regret it. Then there was a silence. Yang Donglei and his wife didn't speak. They buried their heads as if thinking about something, and their expressions were a little dazed. Yang Tian wanted to tell his parents that he had met Lu Jun and Lu Yan and walked with Lu Yan, and wanted to make his parents happy. After all, the two families used to be neighbors, and Yang Donglei and his wife naturally knew Lu Jun and Lu Yan. Moreover, his parents should be very happy that he and Lu Yan were walking together, especially his mother Wang Jing should be very happy. But Yang Tian couldn't say much about his parents' current state. In this atmosphere, even if Yang Tian said it, the two elders might not be happy. As for his parents' trance, Yang Tian was not too worried. In his opinion, this was a normal reaction. After all, the two elders were old, and their ability to accept things was naturally far behind that of young people. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Super God Undead Lord. Author, B.A. Wang Shi-san. Chapter 649. After dinner, Yang Tian washed the dishes and pots. After everything was done, Yang Tian took his parents and Xiao Bai for a walk in the community. Seeing that his parents were in a bad mood, Yang Tian sometimes comforted them. When Yang Tian and his family of 3 returned home, it was already 9 o'clock in the evening. After washing up, Yang Tian slept here, and he should live here for the next half-month. The bracelet on his wrist is a Taigzi terminal, and he can enter the game at any time. Of course, forget about tonight. After all, his main task in the next half-month is to help his parents level up, and now that his parents are emotionally unstable, it is meaningless for him to play the game alone. The crescent moon was hanging in the sky, and the bright moonlight sprinkled through the glass window. Yang Tian lay on the bed with his hands on the pillow and slowly closed his eyes. Beside the bed, Xiao Bai lay on the ground, silently guarding his master. Compared with Yang Donglei and his wife, who had been together for more than 3 years, it certainly preferred Yang Tian, the real master. That night, Yang Tian did not sleep well, and he had a long-lost dream. A very clear, fragmented dream. Sleepwalking in the void, I saw many strange people and things. The first dream fragment. The scene is a quiet garden with bright sunshine. Swoosh dash. Suddenly, two divine birds, one red and one blue, came in parallel. When they landed in the garden, they had turned into human forms, a boy and a girl, both in the posture of teenagers. The boy had handsome features, sword eyebrows, and starry eyes, and was dressed in gorgeous clothes. He was a rich boy at first glance. He had long red hair, which he tied behind his head like the ancients, making him look handsome and unrestrained. What made Yang Tian feel weird was that the boy looked exactly like himself. To be precise, the boy was still a boy, and looked exactly like himself in his youth. The girl was also youthful, lovely, beautiful, and had long blue hair. There were many birds in the garden, boys and girls were playing, and the birds were flying, which looked innocent and romantic, and the picture was very beautiful. The boy jokingly made a flower hat and put it on the girl. Two small colorful birds also flew over the girl's head. The girl giggled. They occasionally communicated, but Yang Tian could not hear any sound, only one sentence, "Brother Xian." Brother Xian. Yang Tian felt that this should be the girl's name for the boy. The sky was spinning, the years passed, and the scenes kept switching. The boy and girl had grown up, and they often appeared together in many scenes. Yang Tian originally thought that they were a pair of young lovers, but later he found out that they were siblings, from the same family, and their status was very high. The second dream fragment. The scene was a magma land. A majestic man with golden hair and golden eyes, sitting in the void, was not affected by the scorching breath emitted by the magma under him. What was even more terrifying was that a small sun was suspended above the majestic man's head. The majestic man used his divine power to continuously refine the sun, causing the sun's volume to shrink continuously. In the end, he swallowed it in one gulp. The third dream fragment. The scene is a mansion. In the hall, the man who looks exactly like Yang Tian sits upright. After many years, the young man has gradually matured and has an extraordinary demeanor. Suddenly, he was furious and smashed the wooden table in front of him with one palm. He was saying something angrily, but Yang Tian could not hear any sound. A moment later, another strong man with a gun came through the air. He hurried forward to greet him and shook his hands. "Feng Xian. Longdu. My best friend." This time, Yang Tian heard the voice. So he knew that the young man who looked like him was named Feng Xian. And his best friend was Longdu. Afterwards, Feng Xian Longdu stood proudly in the air, communicating something with excited expressions. Yang Tian could not hear the sound again. Then, Feng Xian Longdu flew in the same direction. Their speed was incredibly fast. In just a moment, they passed through the atmosphere and left the planet they were on. Then, they crossed the void. Wherever they passed, the stars flowed backwards. It can be seen that their speed was so fast that at least Yang Tian could not reach it. It was not in the same dimension at all. After an unknown period of time, there was no planet in the place where they passed. After they crossed a long void, many planets appeared in front of them again. And those planets were different from the previous ones. Most of the planets in front were red, and there were countless suns. The so-called sun is actually a spherical luminous star condensed by gravity, called a star. In the prehistoric universe, there are countless suns. The star field in front was very bright and gave people a feeling of extreme heat. The scene switched, and Feng Xian Longdu and the others finally arrived on a huge red life planet. After a while, the two met the majestic man in the second dream fragment in a magma area. The two men were excited and questioned the majestic man, but the majestic man looked disdainful. The two men were finally furious and attacked the majestic man together. For a moment, the strong wind was violent and the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. However, even with the combined efforts of the two men, they were still no match for the majestic man. Finally, the majestic man blew up Feng Xian with one palm, and the golden flames further burned the scattered body of Feng Xian, and finally Feng Xian's body was gone. Yang Tian didn't know what would happen next. Because the moment Feng Xian fell, Yang Tian woke up from his dream in a cold sweat. What a real dream! Yang Tian wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Now he woke up, but many scenes in the dream were still vivid. Why did I have such a dream? Does Feng Xian have anything to do with me? He looks exactly like me, but his hair is red. Maybe some kind of divine bird blood in my body is also related to him. Yang Tian looked confused. In his dream, Feng Xian was obviously the protagonist, and many scenes and events were related to Feng Xian. The 10 regions of the universe. In the dream, the star region that Feng Xian and Longdu finally arrived at was also the star region where the majestic man who ate the sun lived. It was very hot and had many suns. Could it be one of the 10 regions? Where Feng Xian lives, birds can be seen everywhere. Is that also one of the 10 regions? Yang Tian was thinking wildly, and his scalp was numb. Yang Tian, who was soaked all over, took another shower and changed into a dry sheet. When he lay on the bed again, his expression was much more relaxed. After all, it was just a dream, and in the whole dream, he only heard a few words. He didn't know the ins and outs of many things. Maybe, it's really just a dream. Yang Tian smiled bitterly and stayed awake all night. Super God Undead Lord. Author, Ba Wang Shi-san. Chapter 650. The next day, Yang Donglei and his wife had recovered a lot. After the family of 3 had breakfast, they logged into the game. This time, Yang Tian also brought Xiaobai into the game. Next, Yang Tian led the 2 elders and Xiaobai to level up quickly. Time passed day by day. The 32 teams participating in the World League have been confirmed. Such a large-scale event will be discussed by countless people every day. The rules of this World League are mostly the same as the domestic qualifiers, but there are also several key differences. For example, the third round of the team competition in the World League has only 5 points in total. 5 points in the first round. 5 points in the second round. Still 5 points in the third round. In other words, you must get at least 3 points in the first 2 rounds, either 3 points in the first round, or win the second round and get 5 points. If you get 3 points in the first 2 rounds and the score is 3-7, then you still have a chance to turn the tables in the third round of the team competition. If you only get 2 points in the first 2 rounds, or even lower, with a score of 2-8, or even 1-9, or 0-10, you will lose directly, and you will not even be eligible to play the third round of team competition. The second change, the ban phase. If the first 2 rounds are over and the winner is still not decided, then there will be a ban phase before the third round of team competition begins. The rule of the domestic qualifiers is, both teams can ban one person from the other team to participate in the team competition. The rule of the World League is, the team leading in points bans one person from itself and one person from the other team. The team lagging behind in points is not eligible to ban people. If the score is 5-5, each team bans one person from the other team. This is obviously a very extreme rule. First of all, in the eyes of ordinary players, the players in the World Championship are all great gods. But even if they are all great gods, there may be huge gaps between them. For example, Yang Tian, Huangmao and others are top gods, and they can beat ordinary World Championship players. Any strong team will have 1 or 2 top gods more or less. If people like them are banned in the third round of team competition, it will be a huge weakening for the entire team. The third round of team competition is still the deciding game, whoever wins will win. But under the rules of the World League, in fact, if you get the points lead in the first 2 rounds, you have actually won half of the game. Because of such rules, countless players have clearly felt that this World League is much stricter than the domestic qualifiers. Almost every game is very important. You can't get by without doing it. As time goes by, some anchors and forum hosts lead countless viewers to analyze the strength of each team and select several powerful teams, which are called champion seed teams by the world. The first place in the audience is the Japanese Angel team, just because its captain, the demon girl Nanami, has now been promoted to a 10-winged angel, the only second-level god at present. The second place in the audience is the Korean Beauty team. The third place in the audience is the Chinese Water Alliance team. The fourth place in the audience is the American Mecha team. The fifth most popular team is Japan's Ninja team. The sixth most popular team is the UK's King team. The so-called audience does not refer to the audience of a certain country, but the audience of the whole world. They believe that the world champion will be produced from the above 6 teams. Of course, there may be dark horses, and the audience is also happy to see dark horses. The fans of each team naturally support their own team and hope to see their own team crush other teams. But the vast majority of neutral audiences do not like to watch crushing games, but only want to watch exciting games. On July 31st, on this day, the list of 32 to 16 matches in the first round of the World League was released. There are a total of 16 games in the first round of the World League, 2 games a day, and the game will be completed in 8 days. I don't know whether the Shuimeng team is lucky or unlucky, and it is the morning game on the first day. That is, the morning game on the next day, August 1st, the opponent is the Japanese Angel team. Countless audiences are boiling. After all, it is too exciting to see such a high-level game at the beginning. At the same time, the fans of the Shuimeng team could not help but feel panicked. After all, the demon girl Nanami is a 10-winged angel, a second-level god realm. Both realm and attributes are very restraining to their brother Shui, so of course they are worried. On the last day before the game, Yang Tian and Huang Mao gathered together. I got the news that the Taeju battlefield will be opened at 6 o'clock tomorrow, and our game will be at 10 o'clock. We have 4 hours. With our strength, it is too easy to kill 108 winged demons in 4 hours, Huang Mao said first. Yang Tian nodded. With the current strength of the two, it is not to say that there is no chance to fight the angel team. But the two of them were promoted to the second-level god, and it was undoubtedly more stable to fight the angel team. Since there is such an opportunity, why give up? August 1st, about 4 o'clock in the morning. Yang Tian and Huang Mao crushed the God Stone and teleported from the lower world to the God Realm. This God Stone is available in the God Realm store, and the price is 10,000 merit points. It's not too little, and it's not too much either. Yang Tian Huang Mao can certainly afford it. At the same time, this divine stone can only be used by human gods. There are a lot of spirit kings, immortal kings, and saint kings in the divine domain, but they dare not go down to the world casually, because they can't come up. During this period of time, the divine domain has been in turmoil for a long time, and countless strong men are roaring and rushing to the Taeju battlefield. There are still 2 hours before the Taeju battlefield will open. Everyone rush with me to protect the divine domain and the 3 gods. There were constant roars in the divine domain. In the same realm, under normal circumstances, human strong men are not opponents of angels and demons. Angels and demons are brutal, eager to kill, and eager to become stronger. Their goal is the same, which is to destroy the divine domain and kill everyone in the divine domain at any time. As mentioned earlier, the 3 gods of the divine domain, as well as the 12-winged angels and 12-winged demons, have no way to participate in the war. Now that the Taeju battlefield is about to open, the purpose of the divine domain warriors is to go to the Taeju battlefield and kill the angels and demons. The most important thing is that the angels and demons must not be allowed to rush into the divine domain. Humans cannot defeat angels and demons, and facing the joint attack of angels and demons, theoretically, humans are finished and the gods' domain has been destroyed long ago. However, angels and demons are brutal by nature. Before the Tegzu battlefield was opened, they were all sealed in the angel domain and the demon domain and could not go out. They often broke out in civil wars and killed each other, so the number of angels and demons was relatively small, at least far less than that of people in the gods' domain. It is precisely because of this that the gods' domain still exists and stands to this day.